Hi, how's it going? Welcome back to the New You in 52 program. In this video today, I'm going to talk about the things that are holding you back. Are there things in your life that if you eliminated, it would make your life better? There's maybe some things which you're doing, you're watching yourself doing it. And we talked about this in the last video. You watch yourself doing things which you know you shouldn't be doing. It's a natural human response. It's what we do. Let's just talk about human nature. We like what we know. So if we know something, we're more likely to turn to doing that. People are in abusive relationships, but they keep going back to it because it's what they know. It's what they're used to, and that's what we look for. There's a thing called homeostasis in biology. Homeostasis is a biological term which means an organism is trying to find equilibrium. It's always looking for a way to get back to its normal state. For example, we humans are an organism, and if we get cold, our state of homeostasis triggers an involuntary response. So if we get cold, we shiver, and that's the body's way of trying to warm us back up, get us back to our normal temperature. The converse is true. When we get too hot, we sweat, and that's the body's way of trying to cool us down. So it's an involuntary reaction. Well, when we're used to doing something, our mind and our subconscious, our body, is looking for a way to get us to our normal place. Now, if our normal place is drinking 4 pints of beer every night, or I know someone who has to have 2 or 3 glasses of wine, if not a bottle, every single night, and if she doesn't, she's saying, "Oh, how will I get to sleep? I need it." And she, you can, if she hasn't had a wine, she's not happy. This same system of homeostasis is telling her that she needs the bad thing. This is where addiction comes from. People who are addicted, this is what's going on in the mind. I've had things in the past and things still going on now which I really should stop doing. I watch myself doing them. I used to sit in front of the telly every night after a gig, or even when I wasn't working, eating chocolate, eating salted nuts, and quite often drinking a bit too much. Beer, whiskey, wine, whatever. And staying up late. As a consequence, I got up late the next day. I felt ill most of the time. Okay, not all the time, but it was a thing which was holding me back, which seemed normal to me. I've managed to kick the habit by doing some of the things which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. Everyone's different. Different things will trigger you, and you'll probably have a few things which you wish you didn't do. The good news is that we can use this to our advantage by doing good things all the time. We've talked about the habit hill, how it takes 30 days to get a new habit going so that it becomes normal. It becomes something you want to do, something you miss if you don't do. It's like cleaning your teeth before you go to bed at night. If you go to bed without cleaning your teeth, you're lying there thinking, or I haven't cleaned my teeth, so I have to get up and clean my teeth. That's this whole system that your mind wants to do what it's used to doing. So to get your mind doing good things is what we're looking for. So how do you stop doing those things which you'd like to eliminate from your life? 2 things. I can give you a couple of ways, a couple of techniques to stop doing those things. There's a thing called inevitability thinking. My business mentor, or one of them, Eben Pagan, talks about this. I think he invented the term inevitability thinking. And what it is, it's setting up the conditions so that success is inevitable. Let's give you an example. Right, the breakfast of brilliance. To make it inevitable that you eat it in the mornings, you prepare the night before. So by doing that, preparing the night before, getting everything ready, when you get up in the morning, it's pretty much inevitable that you'll think, oh, I'm looking forward to my breakfast. And it's quite easy, I've just got to add the fruit. But it sets up the conditions. Going for a walk in the morning, if you put your clothes out ready in the evening, it makes it much more inevitable that in the morning you'll get up, you won't have to think about it. There's the clothes, you put them on and out you go, and you feel great. So it's setting up those conditions of inevitability. Another concept which I follow a chap called Ben Hardy. I'm involved in a couple of his programs, and he talks about a thing called forcing functions. And this takes it a little stage further, so that when you're in the moment of being triggered to do that thing that you didn't ought to be doing, you set up a forcing function, a planned response, so that, for instance, if I'm trying to give up sugar or give up eating chocolate, cake, that sort of thing, when I go into the kitchen and it's there in the fridge, because I don't live here on my own all the time, I keep stuff in for people, I have a pre-planned response for that moment, so that when I think, a piece of cake, what I do is I sing a verse and 2 choruses of Moondance. I know it's crazy, I don't know why I do that, it's just what I started doing, but it works. Apparently it takes 30 to 40 seconds for you to eliminate the cravings. This works. This is science. This works. So I'd like you to write down 2 things that are holding you back. 2 key things. Think of the keystone habit, things which have a ripple effect. So 2 key things which will make a big difference to your life. For myself, it was not eating crap late at night and staying up watching telly. The ripple effect was I couldn't get up the next day. So by stopping doing that, I can now get up in the mornings, and it's a whole thing, but by stopping one thing. So I'd like you to choose 1 or 2, really, 1 or 2 things which are holding you back. 2 things that you could eliminate from your life. And the way we're going to do this is by using those 2 processes, inevitability thinking and forcing functions. And then I'd like you to pre-plan a response for when you're triggered to do that bad thing, okay? So if it's eating a chocolate bar, pre-plan something. Another chap I know, if he thinks he's going to eat some sugar, he goes down and does some press-ups. It's not for me, that, but just something that takes your mind off it. Singing, do some high jumps, some, what do they call them, star jumps or something in the kitchen. Running on the spot is a good thing to do. Something that is healthy and takes your mind off it. So pre-plan a response for whatever it is, or for both of the things that you're going to do. Pre-plan your response. A thing that I've been doing lately, this last few months, is when I'm at home here and I'm trying to get on with things, I'm working on this program or whatever, if I'm feeling a bit stuck, I can sometimes get a bit, you know, feeling a bit down feeling a bit stuck, and what shall I do? Oh, I'll just sit down and put the TV on and get some lunch, and an hour becomes an hour and a half, becomes 2 hours, then it gets too late to do anything. It's a trap I have fallen into several times. So what I do now, if I feel that coming on, I go, right. And this is what I did just 2 days ago, actually. I go in the kitchen, make myself a flask of coffee and a really nice sandwich with some salad and some lovely homemade bread. Get on my bike and I cycle off somewhere beautiful by the canal. I'll put a picture on this video, actually, of the other day when I did it. And cycle off, sit down, have my lunch and cycle home. I'm usually back within an hour and a half, an hour to an hour and a half. Wow, do I feel good? Accomplishment, done it, I've been somewhere beautiful, thought about things, I've taken a notebook, I've made some notes. This really works. I'm getting excited, it really works. So your challenge for this month is to write down on your score sheet your score for the day, how well you think your day has gone, every single day. So if it's Tuesday today or Monday today, above the first Monday on the sheet, write down your score for the day. And also record your success, or otherwise, of course, for the two things, the one or two things that you're eliminating. So if you haven't had some sugar or some chocolate, write down choc no. For me, slobbing in front of the telly, I write down slob no. And then I'm recording. And the idea is that we want an unbroken chain for the rest of the month. So it's going to say no every day. If you slip up, don't beat yourself up. Don't forget, we're gentle with ourselves on The Art of Health. This is going to happen. I can tell you now it's going to happen. You're going to slip up. Don't beat yourself up. Write down a yes, I did eat some chocolate, or a yes, I did slob in front of the telly, or whatever it is you're trying to eliminate. Go to bed, write it in your journal. This wasn't good. Get up the next morning and it's a new day. We're starting again. Reset and start again. Don't give up whatever happens. Become the person that watches themselves. So we don't want to be the person who watches themselves fail and feels miserable and regretful and gives up. We're going to be the person who watches themselves fail, changes it the next day, doesn't fail the next day. If we can get an unbroken trail of, there's a comedian called Jerry Seinfeld, an American comedian, and he's famous for his work ethic. And what he does, he has a calendar on his wall, and every day he writes a joke, he puts a cross in the calendar. And what he's trying to do is create an unbroken chain of crosses every single day. And he says that what he finds is that if he's distracted and he's not getting on with it, it just never happens. But if to get that cross on the calendar, he sits down and writes one joke, that can often lead to a really productive session of work. There's a phrase, I've forgotten who said it now. I'll put it on the video. I'll put the name of the person. What's his name? Anyway, the phrase is, you are more likely to act yourself into feeling than feel yourself into action. Such a good phrase, such a good quote. You're more likely to act yourself into feeling than feel yourself into action. So don't just do something because you feel like it. Do it anyway, and you'll feel like doing it because you're doing it. It's a fact. This works as well. It's all science, this. So you're not going to be the person who watches yourself not succeed anymore, watches yourself doing crap things. You're going to be the person who watches yourself succeed. Okay, in the next video, I'm going to describe how we use the score sheet, the daily success score sheet. Have a great day. See you later. Bye.